Morning. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today regarding visiting the lecture program from University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Nur Hazwani Dzulkefly as a program coordinator, Bachelor in Computer and Business Management with honors, Institute of Information Technology with us today, and also to all participants today. Today's session is being live streamed on the University STEKOM YouTube channel. And now I will read our agenda this afternoon today. First, we will start with class presentation by Dr. Nur Haswani. Class presentation on the topic Cultural Intelligence for Global Success and Feeling the Power of Cultural Exchange in Business. We will continue with the Q&A session for all participants in the next session. If you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Your question will be answered after the presentation. Okay, and let's start our class today for Dr. Nur. The time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Novita. Hi, see you again. Right, I think I've seen some familiar faces as well here. Just now I've seen, that one. Right, this is not my first time with STEKOM webinar. Thank you once again to STEKOM University for inviting me again. I think this is my fifth time. Okay. Thank you for still offering me the opportunities. I really love doing that. And I like to enjoy knowledge sharing with your students here in STEKOM University, which is so participative, supportive, okay, asking lots of questions, which is really good for us to exchange information and knowledge as well. Right, maybe some of you first time of meeting me. Hi, my name is Dr. Nur Hazwani binti Dzulkefly. Assalamualaikum. Selamat petang. Okay, here in Malaysia it's 3 o'clock. I believe over there is 2 p.m. And I'm a senior lecturer in informatics and analytics section in University Kuala Lumpur, UniKL in short, in a specific faculty called Malaysian Institute of Information Technology. So in short, it's called UniKL MIIT. So without further ado, let's begin the lecture. So I will start sharing my screen, but I would like to invite everyone to enjoy this movie a little bit before I start. Okay. Wait a sec. All right. Okay, so I got mine. There's some. Okay. Bismillah. Yes, can you hear the sound?
Yes, miss, but for the video, no.
Oh, the video not.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think because Netflix cannot share screen the video, just
Oh,
only show.
right. Okay. So never mind.
Yeah.
Okay then. Oh, really? Oh, I thought last time it was okay, right? I mean, in the last talk, I've shared it and there was no problem with that. But I'm so sorry. Perhaps I didn't really know the current setting of Netflix that prevent anyone to share the screen. Perhaps it's due to issues of plagiarism issues and many other issues. Okay, so let me show you other videos. So what I would like to show you was some of the introductory clip from Emily in Paris. Have any of you watched that series? Miss Novita, you watched that?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, despite all the funny stuff, they were being so sarcastic. So the dialogue also like teasing here and there. But what I like to show, that is actually a perfect video or perfect drama, series drama, that could show you about intelligence, culture intelligence. Okay, in short, they call it as CQ. This cultural intelligence, as per shown by Emily, while she arrives in Paris, she was so excited. However, the Paris people were not really welcoming her at first. Okay, so now it has been 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, the series. Okay, can't wait for the next one, season 4, which I don't know when will be out. But okay, but if you notice, as you followed the story from season 1 towards season 3, she finally managed to dwell to cope well with the different culture from her home in Chicago in US. So she was adapting very, very well, excellently. She even met French. She can talk a little bit of French and speak a little bit of French. And then she understands very well some of the business deals, cultures, okay, the settings, the people themselves, the work cultures, In Chicago, perhaps in US or many other countries, we started the work early in the morning, isn't it? If you notice, they show that in Emily in Paris, they started the work quite late. Okay, so the the French, they go for exercise first in the morning or having good breakfast at the cafe, and that is the culture. Okay, they don't really start working as early as 8. Okay, like unlike some of us here, but they rather start around 10. Okay, slightly over 10. Okay, they make sure that they have a work-life balance. They can get to do their own stuff in the morning before they start working. Okay. Well, I hope there are a lot of you that is fans of the series, which is really good, I think. Okay, so let's further discuss about the cultural intelligence. Okay, so throughout this hour, so I will be taking you guys to dive into how cultural intelligence, okay, um, and also cultural exchange can drive the business growth, right? How it can help the business to grow and how it helps the business to foster innovation. And lastly, how the business can prosper, okay, have a lasting prosperity. Okay, now let's understand what is CQ first. Have you ever heard of this culture intelligence before my class? Okay, perhaps some of you do, some of you don't. Okay, never mind. Let me go to okay. Right, cultural intelligence. Okay, why is matters for global success for business? Okay, and how are we going to unveil the power of it? All right, and yeah, so let's go to the CQ. What is CQ? Right, I mentioned before, just now, that CQ represents cultural intelligence. Okay, so CQ means the ability to work effectively in a different cultural settings. Okay, well, might be some of you has this kind of interest or eagerness, or maybe like imagining, or maybe like dreaming of working abroad one day. Any of you does that? Even me myself, I once pictured myself working abroad, especially in my favorite country, which is United Kingdom, UK, because I've been staying there for more than 6 to 7 years altogether since my master's days and towards my PhD days. I really like the culture. I really like the way things being operate in the organizations over there, besides the weather. Okay, so I was believing that I might have the chance to work with. However, it's just that a temporary moment. I get to have the chance. However, it's just not really lasting because I ought to be back to my home country, Malaysia. So when I have that kind of dream to work there, I already eager to learn about their cultures. Okay, I already willing to learn about a lot of things, the job opportunities available. Okay, how to sharpen your CV, your resume to make it look more um, presentable, more attractive for your future employer. Okay, things that you do to prepare yourself to work and to embark yourself into a different culture settings. Okay, so because it's just not about knowing the cultural differences, but also being able to adapt and navigate them. Okay, if you have some of your family members that working abroad or working outside the home country, okay, if you ever ask them how was things, how did you cope, definitely there were lots of changes, there were lots of challenges, and there were lots of things that they need to coping up with, learn about, trying to adjust to, trying to get used to, okay? Because it's totally different cultures from what we are having here, okay, in the home country. So, knowing about cultures. So, culture is very similar to iceberg. So, if you notice at the homepage of these slides, I show the picture of iceberg. Okay, you know iceberg, right? Is the ones that you've seen on top of the surface of the ocean surface. It's just a small portion of the whole iceberg. Okay, the underneath the water is the even bigger portion of the iceberg. So it has some aspects that are visible, but there are some are not visible, okay, just like the iceberg. Okay, so many others can only be suspected, guess, or learn as you grow to understand cultures. So, like an iceberg, the visible part of culture is only a small part of a much large whole that hidden beneath the ocean. Okay, so in order for you to really understand, to know about the cultures, you need to dwell in it. Okay, if you are going to see the whole iceberg, how it looks like, other than being on the surface, you might have to dive in to see how much bigger the portion underneath the water. Okay, that is uh, the on how about you understanding cultures. Okay, what I was trying to say here is, in order for you to know about cultures, you need to live in it, live with it, okay? Learn and dwell in it. All right? Okay. The second one is on understanding the cultures. Okay, after we get to know the cultures, okay, oh, this is how it looks like. What we see is only on the surface, but we also need to have a deep understanding of the cultural norms, traditions, and history. Okay, don't look far. Okay, even among the companies or organizations in Indonesia or in Malaysia, okay, we all have our own different cultures, isn't it? Okay, or maybe like STEKOM University has their own STEKOM culture. Other universities have their own university cultures, okay, regardless of the staff, the lecturers and the service staff, and also the culture of the students, okay, in terms of their learning style, in terms of the geographical location, in terms of the settings, okay, in terms of its people, all right. If there's more foreign students, means there is more the vibes of the international vibes, okay. If there's more local students, so you feel more like home, all right. So that is the difference of cultures between universities, even though in the same country, all right. There will be some of the things that are common in practice. However, there are a lot of other things as well that's slightly different, especially in terms of work, okay, in terms of learning style, in terms of the lecturers and the students, okay. Perhaps there are different a bit as well. Okay. Now, before I further with this one, I would like to show you something about understanding culture. Let's check out this video. It's an ad from HSBC Bank. Okay, look at the tagline there. The world's local bank. It's a world bank. All right. Okay. However, it customs to the local settings, local needs. Okay, to the host countries wherever the HSBC bank branches are. Okay, so let's check this one out.
The bank.
好容易嘅就簡單啦，就咁拍就。大家飲杯，飲杯，飲杯。得啦！大家食啊！好嘢啊！冇食啊！湯飲埋先。
The English believe it's a slur on your host's food if you don't clear your plate. Whereas the Chinese feel you're questioning their generosity if you do.
買少啲啊！好，馬上嚟。
At HSBC, we never underestimate the importance of local knowledge. Which is why we have local banks staffed by local people in over 80 countries across the globe.
哎呀！伙計，打電話。
HSBC, the world's local bank.
Okay, so you can see that how actually the difference. Okay, the English guy was meant as to appreciate that the meal served for him is delicious, it's really good. So by slurping it to the last bit was showing high appreciation from him. But as for the Chinese, they thought he might wanted more, okay? And that is why they keep adding more once after the guy finished slurping the soup. Okay, that is how you perceive the different cultures, okay? We have different meanings of each cultures that we are living with, okay? The same with others, okay? Whenever we do something, others might perceive or understand different meaning, okay? We meant these things, but when someone else not the one that are practicing or living with our culture might see different thing, okay? So now we need to look at the flexible to different cultures. So this is one of the way to also understand about cultural intelligence by being flexible to adapt to the new or different cultures. Okay. So what is it that about being flexible to different cultures? It's the ability, okay, your capability to adjust, right? Trying to adjust how you behave and communicate when working with people from different cultures, right? It's about having a deep understanding of the cultural norms and traditions and also their history, okay? Before you go somewhere else, working in a different culture, try to get to know the cultures, because you are the one that coming into the culture. You are the one that need to adapt. Okay, if others come to your country, if others come to your place, for example, that they are the one who needs to go to learn about the cultures that you are living with, that you are practicing. Okay, all right. So being flexible in different cultures, okay, require you to adjust. Okay, and okay, let's consider McDonald's. Okay, if you notice that there were lots of McDonald's obviously all over the world. Okay, it's a world world standard, a world brand of fast food chain. So in many countries, it is like a must-have to have McDonald's. Okay, it's quite rare to see no McDonald's in some countries, right? As fast food is one of the food that being accepted by people entire the world. So I would like to show you about this McDonald's different food of different countries and why they are so. Okay, let's check this one out. So what McDonald's menu items look like around the world? Okay.
When traveling, you're more than likely to try delicious, authentic food found in the country that you're in, not fast food chains. I mean, who travels across the country to try McDonald's? But McDonald's is the second biggest fast food chain in the world, and it's all over. Its menu items actually differ depending on where you are, like the McFalafel in Sweden or the McSpicy Paneer in India. Let's take a look at what McDonald's menu items look like around the world.
Ooh, there are lots of countries there. We go for Thailand.
You can get a really good kick of heat with Thailand's Kaprao crispy chicken rice. It's rice served with chicken curry.
It's actually really good. It's like sweet and spicy, but honestly, you wouldn't think it came from McDonald's.
And for dessert, try its Thai pie. It's stuffed with black sticky rice and young coconut that oozes when you bite into it.
Nabi sebut barang siapa memberi orang berbuka puasa.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Pahala dia buat tadi tu dia.
Canada's poutine is a can't miss. It's fries topped with cheese curds and gravy. It first appeared in Quebec in the 1950s, and you can try it at some Canadian McDonald's. While the Big Mac may be one of McDonald's most popular beef burgers, that's not the case in India. About 95% of the world's Hindus live in India. Cows are sacred in Hinduism, so practicing Hindus don't eat them. As a substitution, the Maharaja Mac uses chicken and adds heat with jalapenos. It's also estimated that anywhere between 20 to 30% of India's population is vegetarian, more than any other country. And many people that do eat meat don't eat it often. The McSpicy Paneer and McAloo Tikki are two vegetarian sandwich options in India. The McSpicy Paneer is fried cheese with lettuce and spicy sauce. Paneer is the common cheese used throughout the Indian subcontinent. The McAloo Tikki is a fried potato and pea patty with veg sauce, ketchup, tomato, and onion. Like India, many Swedes enjoy the vegetarian lifestyle. Sweden's McDonald's offers items such as McFalafel with 4 or 9 pieces of falafel bites. It also sells the McVegan, a soy vegan burger. One of our producers, Ju, tried it herself. Here's what she thought.
It's mixed with tomato powder, onions and peppers. So like what you're expecting from here is quite like a juicy soy protein burger, but with quite a strong like vegetable taste to it as well. It's not really flavoursome. It just tastes like quite a good standard veggie burger like made of soy protein. Certainly looks very, very impressive. Like, I really like the colour of it.
Japan has a pretty extensive menu of burgers, and among them is the teriyaki burger, a beef patty with lettuce and teriyaki sauce. It also has an ebi fileo, a breaded shrimp patty. And if you're thirsty, try the melon McFloat. It's Fanta soda with vanilla soft serve. A lot of McDonald's make you pay extra for condiments, especially their dipping sauces. But in Mexico, they do it a little differently. Instead, it has a complimentary salsa bar. Use it on the special breakfast platter. It comes with sausage, scrambled eggs, and micmolletes, bread that comes with refried beans, white American cheese, and salsa. In Mexico's McDonald's, you can also try a pie de queso. It's a classic handheld pie crust filled with a sweet cream cheese. Rice is a staple food in Indonesia. The country produces over 60 million tons per year. Its McDonald's offers sticky rice balls served with fried chicken, spices, and chili sauce. Wash it down with black currant fruit tea, which comes in this fun purple juice pouch. McDonald's in the United Kingdom might be the best place to stop if you'd like to try food from around the world. Yup, its limited edition menu offers items like the Indian chicken and the Canadian stack.
Some chicken in there, lettuce, tomato, onions, and of course the naan on the outside. If you like garlic and you like chutney, you will love this. Ooh, okay, crispy onions and bacon and sauce and lettuce and 2 burger patties. That's it.
You can also just stick to classic UK flavors and get a traditional bacon roll. It's bacon served on a roll with ketchup or brown sauce.
The bacon in there is actually quite good.
So tell us, would you consider eating at a McDonald's while traveling? Is it an experience to add to your bucket list? Let us know in the comments below.
Okay. So that's what you said about being flexible to different cultures' point of view, and maybe like the video host was saying, are you now perhaps for non-Muslim who has no restrictions on trying food, and it will be okay for Muslim as well, as long as it's halal and it's vegetarian based. And to change to try different dishes of McDonald's menu, which are different from what in our country. Okay, right. I get to share again my slides. Okay. All right, so basically that is what cultural intelligence or CQ means. With all these 3 elements or 3 topics, knowing about it, understand it, and also being flexible to different of it. So all these 3 is a must for someone to really understand, and how before they've been able to adapt and navigate different cultures. Okay. Intelligently. Okay, so why CQ matters? Okay, so why it's been such a huge topic, such a big call to businesses out there? Why is it so important? Why are they highlighting on the importance on understanding, okay, or practicing cultural intelligence? Okay. So why is cultural intelligence essential? It's because for achieving business success in the globalized world, we need to explore, okay, on how to understand the diverse perspective that drives the innovation. Okay. So innovation is a crucial part of a business. Okay. Without being innovative, without innovations created, so your business, okay, or the business will be easily left behind, can't be able to cope with the competitors. That is why innovation is crucial. But how to foster the innovation? One of the way is through cultural intelligence. Okay. So it does fosters effective communication and also unlocks new market opportunities. Okay, let's look at the first point, which is better communication and teamwork. Okay, so when people understand each other's cultures, they can work together. Okay, they can discuss, they can be calm and find the solutions, okay? Get into one agreement, for example, and getting the work itself done effectively. So this leads to a better problem solving and creativity, and that is why the first thing that you must do is to better the communication and the teamwork. Okay, so when people understand each other's culture, they can work together more effectively and lead to a better problem solving and creativity. Okay, I would like to take an example of the automotive brands. Okay, if you know Toyota and also Volkswagen. Okay, usually global in automotive industry, they move or they grow globally. Okay, because we are importing, exporting cars, we get to use Japanese cars, the continental cars, even though we are in Asian countries. While in Europe, in America, in Japan, they also get the chance to use cars imported from Malaysia or from any other Asian countries in their country. Okay, so companies like Toyota and Volkswagen have successfully integrated teams from different cultural background to design and manufacture vehicles that cater to diverse markets while maintaining the high quality standards. Okay, usually big names, big brands like this, they have manufacturers, they have factories, they have the business all over the world, right? Not only in their home country. Okay, so this is what happens. So whenever they have the branches in different states, in different countries, definitely they have to collaborate. They have to understand. They have to, no matter what, work together with the locals from the host country. Okay, even though you are from the home country, you were sent to the host country. You are the one that need to adapt. Okay, so as for this one, I would like to show you a video again. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is about Volkswagen ads. Okay, let's check it out.
Have you ever heard of the Think Small campaign? The Think Small ad campaign is ranked as the best advertising campaign of the 20th century by Ad Age. Volkswagen is one of the most popular car companies today, being known for its quality in German engineering. The origins of the company date back to the 1930s Nazi Germany, with Hitler's desire to have a car that anyone would be able to afford. Shortly after World War I, the US entered an industrial age that craved large and lavish cars, especially the muscle cars. The Beetle, in contrast, was small, compact, and strange looking, which made it very difficult to market. To make matters even more difficult, the Beetle was manufactured in Wolfsburg, Germany on a plant built by the Nazis. The campaign was produced under the Doyle-Dane-Bernbach agency. The message focused on the car's qualities by giving it personality and relating the car to its consumers. It took an underdog mentality and used that message to persuade the viewers. Doyle-Dane-Bernbach wanted to focus on simplicity. He wanted to contradict the traditional ads of the time by using less clutter and more emotional content. The Beatles' print campaigns therefore focused on negative space. Typical ads at the time were more information-based, and this type of advertising started to disinterest the viewer. The ads were also more fantasy-oriented. The Beatles' ads connected with people on an emotional level. They were simple and aesthetically pleasing, and they also outlined the advantages of driving a small car. This approach was so well received that it ushered in a creative revolution in advertising. Ad agencies would copy Birnbach's approach, which was emotional and minimalistic at its core. We can even see that in today's advertisements that tug at our heartstrings. Take, for example, Apple, or emotional halftime ads that have taken over media content. So why not think like Doyle Dane Birnbach and think small?
Okay, so that's what been shown by the Volkswagen and how they break into a different type of car when they were started to introduce a Beetle, which is unlike the other cars during that time. Most of the cars are bigger, with bigger engine. However, Volkswagen tried to break the market pattern that time. So they produce a compact version, okay, small, that's what we call, and we still see that a lot these days, okay, the Volkswagen. That is the output of the collaboration across borders, okay, and due to the integration of the employees, okay, from different cultural backgrounds to design and manufacture vehicles that cater to diverse market while maintaining the high quality standards. Perhaps they might see that in Japan, for example, Toyota, the cars are not as big as the ones that Volkswagen produce. So therefore, because of some of the Volkswagen's members work in Japan, so they get to understand that these local needs, so the Japan needs of car is not really much a big one. It's okay, they're rather like a smaller one because there are lots of parts in Japan that is so hectic, busy, so the space are limited. So they were looking for something that is faster, lighter, and also smaller. Okay, so that is why how the Volkswagen have successfully came out with the Beetle design. Okay, right. So find new opportunities at different market. Okay. Understanding local cultures help businesses know what people want and how to sell to them. Okay. So I like to show you one more video about understanding the local cultures and how does it help the business to know what people want and be able to sell that to them. Okay. One moment. Okay, looking at this ad.
They call me.
Okay, if you ever heard of this campaign, Shell Coke campaign, back in 2019, I've got one bottle that has my husband's name, Adam. We found it in the market, yeah. That is during the time where Coke came out with this campaign, and let's see about the story. Okay.
Share a Coke campaign is by far their most successful marketing stunt ever. By simply printing names on their products, Coke managed to end a decade-long sales decline and increase their revenue by $12.9 billion in just 2 years. So, how did this effortless tactic completely change the trajectory of Coca-Cola's company? To answer that, we need to travel back to 2011. A time when Coke was facing a massive problem. At the time, teens and young adults alike weren't drinking Coca-Cola. More specifically, they weren't drinking it because they thought the brand was outdated and didn't resonate with it as much as older people. This was most apparent in Australia, where in August of 2010, half of their young adult population had never tasted a Coke. With that shocking statistic in mind, the Australian Coca-Cola team started brainstorming ideas to get teens back on Coke. They wanted to accomplish 2 things with their idea. First, increase sales of Coca-Cola among young consumers, and second, bring the brand closer to Australia's young adults. After doing extensive research, they realized there was a massive opportunity for growth among millennials through their branding and digital presence. These young adults were now living in a digital world, and if these types of consumers perceive Coca-Cola as outdated, then refreshing their brand image and adapting to the digital world these consumers were living in was vital to their success. And so, Coca-Cola mapped out a strategic plan to reconnect with young Australians. And that plan was for them to share a Coke. The backbone of their plan involved changing the labels on every single product they sold. Every can and bottle of Coca-Cola would have their traditional logo replaced with "Share a Coke with," followed by one of the 150 most popular names in Australia, which accounted for about 42% of their entire population. This small tweak in theory would encourage millennials to not only be excited about finding their name on a Coke product, but also share that product on social media to their friends. On top of that, Coca-Cola planned an extensive effort to set up 18 kiosks across malls in Australia, where young adults could print custom cans of Coke with their names on them, further promoting the idea to share their personalized products with friends online. Furthermore, their efforts to reach millennials extended beyond their physical products, including ads in newspapers, on TV, on buses, with influencers, and most notably billboards. These digital billboards allowed viewers to text the name of themselves or their friends to Coca-Cola, and Coke would take that name and update their billboards in real time to show the name on a virtual Coke can. And this idea once again promoted viewers to share their customized billboards online to their friends. And so, with their genius plan mapped out, Coca-Cola was more eager than ever to reconnect with Australia's young adults. But it turned out their elaborate plan came with many roadblocks. In order to execute a plan of this magnitude, Coca-Cola had to redesign their entire company workflow. From the marketing team to the legal team, design team, product team, and more, every department of Coke needed to communicate effectively and be on their A game. And if that didn't happen, their whole plan would crumble. But Coke wasn't ready to go down without a fight. Thousands of employees were assigned new rules for the campaign that were clear and concise. The legal team investigated copyright rules. The design team created new looks for the labels. The operating team had to figure out how to print millions of unique labels on cans and bottles. All while the marketing team updated all of them about new plans and ideas. While this entirely new process was daunting to them, every single employee pushed through. And eventually, the Share a Coke campaign was ready for launch. After 4,000 hours of talking to stakeholders, 225 trademark searches, 2,300 original artwork designs, and so much more, Coca-Cola launched their campaign in the summer of 2011. And that summer ended up being a very special time for Australians. In alliance with Coke's plan, millennials fell in love with the idea to share a Coke. The excitement of finding their names on Coke products and sharing them with friends ignited a multi-million person movement that eventually made headlines onto late night shows, news outlets, and more. And along with the media buzz, every aspect of Coca-Cola's plan was being perfectly executed. Their kiosks had hour-long lines, thousands of people were taking pictures of billboards, and millions of personalized Coke bottles were flying off shelves. In less than a year after the launch of the campaign, Coca-Cola saw a 7% increase in consumption among Australia's millennials, and more than 250 million customized Coke products were sold, averaging over 10 bottles per Australian. But of course, increasing sales was just one goal Coca-Cola had in mind. Did they bring the brand closer to young adults? Well, taking a quick look at their online performance says it all. In less than a year, over 500,000 photos were shared on social media with hashtag #ShareCoke, 76,000 of which were Coca-Cola's own billboards. Their Facebook page saw a fresh 25 million people follow them, and Coke's website traffic increased by 870%. It goes without saying that the magic that the Share Coke campaign created in Australia was unstoppable. So much so that it expanded beyond the entire country. Over 70 other countries were quick to embrace the love for sharing a Coke, each of which had their 250 most popular names printed on Coke's products. And unsurprisingly, the campaign worked flawlessly in every single country. Over the years after it originally launched, the Share Coke campaign generated over 1 billion impressions online and became the #1 global trending topic on social media. And of course, Coca-Cola sold a lot of Coke. From before the campaign started in 2010 to the peak of it in 2012, Coca-Cola saw a $12.9 billion increase in revenue, completely wiping out the 10-year-long sales slump they endured before. It's impressive how fast Share a Coke became a cultural phenomenon, but it's arguably more impressive how Coke revolutionized their ads during Christmas time. To see how they did that, check out this video on how Coke used Santa Claus to make themselves an icon during the holidays.
Assalamualaikum saudara-saudara pelarian kita baik di kem ini ataupun di Syria, Palestin ataupun di Yaman. Suatu masa
Okay. Right. While actually I was showing you the video of behind the stories of the Coke campaign, Share Coke, okay, why they're adding names on the Coke bottle, it's because I would like to go to the next point, which is avoiding mistakes and conflicts. Okay, so cultural intelligence will help businesses to avoid misunderstandings that could cause further and unwanted problems. Okay, as you've seen through the explanation in the video, it says that in 2010, toward 2010, the sales were declining really bad for Coke. So what the team has to do with that is to tackle the new market, which is the millennials, the youngsters, and what actually do they like and how are they going to increase or to promote or to trigger their interest towards drinking Coca-Cola. So what they did is okay, based on the Share Coke campaign, they put names of I think 40 names were selected of most popular names in Australia. So they put the names on the bottle. So they were the millennials market will try to seize any Coke bottle or can that has their names. Even so, their names are not available. If you noticed, just now there was a machine that could customize the name on the Coke bottle. So it was like a hype during that time while having a bottle Coke with your name on it. So every time they manage to grab one, so they will post it on the social media, share the post about it. So it will be globally re-image campaign for Coca-Cola as a whole, because it starts to grow more and more interest from the millennials from the Australia and also outside Australia, okay, in all over the world. That is how when you understand the culture of the millennials way of life, for example, millennials lifestyle, which probably different with the elders or the rather younger kids, something that make them feel hype with the good vibes with their friends, creating moments with good drinks, for example. That's what they were looking for, okay, as the youngsters. So Coca-Cola was trying to dwell into the needs of the culture that being practiced by the millennials. So this is the strategy that they finally put out, is by putting name on the beverages, okay, their favorite beverages, which is Coca-Cola. Okay, so right. So that is why that explains why cultural intelligence is essential to achieve business success, okay, especially in this globalized world. Because the main thing is those cultural intelligence important act that you need to do, like better communication and teamwork, find new opportunities in different market, and also to avoid mistakes and conflicts. There are the elements, or there are the factors that foster innovation for a business. So it will help the business to keep growing, because by understanding, by applying cultural intelligence, it helps to open new market opportunities. Okay. So, on how are we going to encourage the cultural intelligence exchange in business? Okay, so let's talk about practical ways that businesses can encourage cultural exchange and benefit from it. Okay, the first one is diverse and inclusive workplace. Okay, so by hiring people from different backgrounds and treating them equally, so businesses can encourage cultural exchange. Okay, I'd like to show you a video. Okay, this one. About a cultural intelligence at workplace.
Cultural intelligence is the capability to relate and work effectively in culturally diverse situations. People with high cultural intelligence are attuned to the values, beliefs, and styles of communication of people from different cultures. They use this knowledge to help them relate to others with empathy and understanding. However, people with high cultural intelligence aren't experts in every kind of culture. Instead, they have the skills to go into new environments with confidence and to make informed judgments based on observations and evidence. In the workplace, the aim is to work with coworkers, customers, and clients to achieve a common goal. For this reason, global companies rely on their employees to practice a high degree of cultural intelligence and embrace a multicultural approach. Cultural intelligence drives people in the workplace to learn and understand each other's cultural background. On the other hand, not being sensitive to or informed about cultural differences can create friction and misunderstanding. Business is done differently in different parts of the world, and there are ample stories of major communication breakdowns. By enhancing their cultural intelligence, employees can become more compassionate and sensitive to others' opinions and perceptions. When employees are adaptive and can integrate into each other's cultures, they can develop a culture of harmony, which makes it easier to be productive in the workplace. This in turn creates a competitive advantage by improving collaboration, teamwork, and overall performance. In addition, culturally intelligent employees can more easily understand each other and interact more effectively, resulting in better communication and creating an environment in which everyone feels comfortable enough to voice their opinions. A multicultural workplace with cultural intelligent employees is also more innovative and productive. This is because employees work more cohesively together to achieve the business outcomes and problem solve. Building a cohesive and compassionate workplace requires everyone to develop cultural intelligence.
Okay, that's it.
Working alone also.
Oh, okay. So basically, you understand. So why is the need of having cultural intelligence at the workplace? Okay. It's because to foster creativity, is also in order to foster professionalism, in order to foster innovation, high innovation drive, Oh, hi, I'm sorry. Didn't really realize because I was sharing a screen that I already were out of the Zoom. I don't know why suddenly, because the internet seems okay here. Well, it happened last time once, but I didn't know it's going to happen again today. I'm so sorry because of that. Technical issues that we had just now. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the last video showed was the Coke, share a Coke campaign, right? Well, was it the long video or the short video? Do you remember? Is it the apps video or the explanation video behind the campaign? Which one was the last one? Explanation about the video, right? Okay. Okay, I would like to ask you, have you did we already into this encourage CQ exchange in business? Already, okay. Okay, great. So which one? Do you exactly remember which was the last point? Can someone told me? Where was the last point? Miss Novita, where was the last point?
Understand non-verbal, Miss?
Oh, understand non-verbal cues. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, not long ago. Okay, so beyond language barriers, it allows for an understanding of nonverbal cues as well, and communication styles that vary across cultures. So not only things that you say, things that you've seen, okay, there are also body languages, okay, nonverbal cues that represent or gives meaning of something that represent the cultures, about what exactly the behavior means. Okay, sometimes people behave this way, that way, and they got their own reason why they do that. Okay, if you don't understand, perhaps you will have a misunderstanding on what were actually the sign language or the cues being given or showed by other persons to you. Okay, so I'm going to show you a video again. Okay. Okay, it says that has anyone ever been to Japan? Or has anyone ever encountered Japanese delegates here, over there in Indonesia, your country? Okay. Okay, Japanese has this kind of behavior, okay? So why are you talking to them? Why are you presenting, okay, your presentations? In Japan, they like to maintain the eye contact during the conversation. Okay, they don't like to maintain the eye contact. It's considered as quite impolite. Okay, so they rather look down or perhaps showing that I'm all ears instead of showing the eyes. Okay, so that's how they react whenever they listen to a presentations. Okay, okay. Unlike in other places where if you are engaging with the presentation, for example, or engaging with someone who are talking to you, you would like to make an eye contact. But as for the Japanese, they don't do that. Okay. However, if they do have questions to ask, if they are curious on something, then they will start making the eye contact with you. Otherwise, they rather show that they are all ears and more like nodding their head, looking down, and listen properly to what you were saying. Okay, so I'm going to show you again one video. Okay. Okay, this one first. All right.
It's well known that some gestures mean different things in different parts of the world. In some places, such as Britain, this means everything's okay, while in Brazil and other places, it's considered obscene. And in still other places, such as Japan, it means money. In Italy, they might make this sign to emphasize a point, while in Jordan, it can mean wait a second. Certain things often have gestures for them. For instance, in most places where drinking alcohol is popular, there's a sign for drinking or getting drunk. In the US, it's this. While in France, they grab and twist their nose, and in Russia, they flick their throat. On the other hand, some places have more or less unique gestures. In Russia, to say you're making things too complicated, you scratch your ear by going around the back of your head. Among the most common and probably
Assalamualaikum. I'm so sorry. Just now the camera was still on while I was sharing a video, so I thought I was still in Zoom until Miss Novita called me saying that I'm already being kicked out of the Zoom platform, and the camera was still on while she was talking to me. So I don't know what went wrong just now somewhere, but I noticed there's a pop-up message saying that my Zoom app was being updated. I don't know why suddenly they chose this time to do the updates. Right, where was the last video that we stopped? Was it a halfway hour video, or which one is the last one? So when was the last one where I stopped? Video, yeah, which video? Was it the TED Talk or the etiquettes? Sorry, it's the culture video about Indian tourists. Which video, dear? Oh, the India one. Is it the India one already done or just about to start? Just started, right. So I play back the Indian cultures video just now, yeah? Wait a minute. Gotta share my screen. Ooh. Look at that. Okay. A different setting. Have to reopen everything. Bookmark. Oh, the history app. Yeah, restore window.
Your increment is not going to help much, right? Most people increment is between 4 to 6% per year, which barely help.
Not this one. Or the body language. Yeah, this one.
We have our first group from India coming next week. Since Mr. Rashid has traveled to India many times.
So, how am I going to? Can you see the video clearly?
I've asked him to talk to you.
Yes, clearly.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Oh, we have our first group from India coming next week. Since Mr. Rashid has traveled to India many times, I've asked him to talk to you about etiquette in India. Mr. Rashid.
Oh, why don't you greet me as if I were an Indian tourist? Ask me to come with you and show me to the tour bus.
Okay, hi there, I'm Paul.
Oh, if I were an Indian woman, you would have just insulted me. Women and men generally do not touch.
Okay, hi there.
You just told me to go away. Oh, too close. You should stand this far away from someone. Instead of shaking hands, do this and say, Namaste.
Namaste.
Excellent. Now, tell me to come with you to the tour bus. Okay, come with me. This is a rude gesture in India. Do it like this.
Come with me.
Good.
To the bus over there. I know, I just insulted you.
One thing with your fingers is considered impolite. Use your chin instead.
To the bus over there. I'm never gonna get this.
You're doing wonderful.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, so that's how this video was in this right, what's my presentation? Wait a second. Wait a minute. Yeah, this one. Okay. It encourages the business culture exchange. And what can we get benefit from it? Okay, just now that was the video for train employees to understand different cultures. Now we are going to organizing events to celebrate different cultures. Have you did you manage to see the video of this one? The EY Entrepreneur by the Ernst & Young annual event that gather entrepreneurs all over the world. Have I been showing you this yet just now or not? Oh. Yes, okay. So you already watched this? Yes to what? Already, right. Okay. In that case, perhaps how about understanding non-verbal cues? Is it already done or not? Already done too, right? Okay, let's go back. Okay, so now let's go to, I think the last video of the day is about just now. If you were still with me, okay, I mentioned that, let me just say again that as in Japan, when someone is talking or presenting, okay, maintaining eye contact is considered as impolite, okay, whereas in other places is considered as supporting, is encouraging, is like showing the interest, isn't it? When you have the maintain the eye contact with the presenters, with the one that you are talking to, that actually shows that you are commit to the engagement, that you are all ears, that you heard of what they are trying to say to you, trying to present to you. But if you are in Japan, they rather behave like, okay, go ahead, not really maintaining the eye contact, because to them it's considered as impolite. Perhaps they don't want the presenter or the person they are talking, who are talking, feel uncomfortable being stared. Okay, so they rather look somewhere else, look down, but sometimes make eye contact, but not all the time. Okay, so speaking of that, let me show you the last video of today, which is about a TED Talk on cultural differences and how does it affect businesses. Okay, so let's enjoy this. It's quite a long video, not really long, it's 4 minutes video. Okay, let's check this out.
I have spent the last 16 years studying how cultural differences are changing global organizations. But I have not always been working in a cross-cultural space. I was raised in a very monocultural place. I was raised in Minnesota, in the Midwest of the US. And it was only later as an adult that I started living in other countries and kind of learning about these things. But I had a situation early in my career that got this all started for me, where I was on a trip to Japan with a Japanese colleague, and I gave a short presentation to a group of Japanese participants, and at the end of the presentation, I asked them if they had any questions. When I looked at the group, no one raised their hands, so I went to sit down. My Japanese colleague then said to me, Erin, I think actually there were some questions. Do you mind if I try? And I said, okay, fine. So he then stood up, and again he said, any questions? And again, no one raised their hand. But this time he looked very carefully at the group. Oh, do you have a question? And the woman said, well, thank you, I do. And she asked a fascinating question. And then he did it again. Oh, do you have something you'd like to say? Yes, thank you, I do. So afterwards, I said to him, how did you know that these people had questions? And he said to me, well, it had to do with how bright their eyes were. And I thought, wow, they don't teach us that in Minnesota. So then I said, well, how do you know how bright their eyes are? And he said, well, in Japan, we don't make as much direct eye contact as you do in the West. So when you ask people if they have any questions, most people are not looking at you directly. But a few people in the audience are looking directly at you, and their eyes are bright. And that indicates that they would be comfortable with you calling on them. So the next day I gave another presentation, and again I asked if there were any questions, and again no one raised their hand. But this time I thought, okay, I'll just try. So I did as he'd instructed, and I looked carefully at the group, and I saw, just as he said, that only a couple of people in the room were looking directly at me. And if I really thought about it, well, yeah, it's okay. Their eyes were bright. So, I gestured to one of them, and he kind of went like that. And then I said, would you like to say something? And he said, yes, thank you. So this was a very important experience for me because, well, there's an expression in Japanese, which is kuki yomanai. They shorten it to KY, and it means someone who is unable to read the atmosphere, or someone who's unable to read the air, meaning to pick up the communication that's in the air. And here we could see that he clearly could read the air, and I was clearly KY. But I also saw that with a little bit of assistance and direction, that I also could become better at picking up those signals that were in the air. So then as I was thinking about this, I became very interested in trying to figure out if there was a method that we could use to help people to better read the atmosphere when they were working with cultures that they didn't know intimately. And we then started to develop this framework that came from lots and lots of research, where we divided culture up into different types of behaviors. And we started looking at, how is trust built in different parts of the world, and how do we make decisions differently in different parts of the world? And we saw that we were able to come up with patterns for how countries or cultures fell differently on those scales.
Okay, so you got something from the presentation of the TED Talk just now? Okay, about understand the non-verbal cues, okay? Can someone tell me, so how was it if you have a Japanese audience that's so interested in your presentations or your talk, but didn't say anything? How would you figure that out? Okay, someone's answered. Using translation. Okay, perhaps, okay, but it's rather on their reaction through their eyes, okay? If they make a direct eye contact with you and keep doing it, means they like to engage with you to ask questions, or perhaps they wanted you to choose them, to ask them, do they have questions? And they will just answer, yes, we do, yes, I do. Okay, they rather prefer that way instead of standing out themselves and raise their hands and say, I've got questions, okay? So instead of that, they rather wait, okay? They waited until they got picked. All right, yeah, okay, so in our normal practice, for example, in Malaysia as well in Indonesia as well. So whenever you are eager to know something, whenever you have questions, you might swiftly raise your hand and say, may I ask, excuse me, okay, you will start like that in order for you to convey whatever you wanted to ask to the presenter, okay? But it doesn't work like that for the Japanese. All right. So we have done that, understand the non-verbal cues. Now let's go back to the last part, which is the conclusion. It's already 4:39. I'm sorry for all the technical problems that happened from my side. I didn't know how on earth they picked this time to update the software, to update the Zoom apps. It just did, but it's okay. We're back here. So in conclusion, so what I can say about the cultural intelligence, or in short, we call it as, anyone answer me? What's in short we call the cultural intelligence as? Do you remember?
What in short, direct?
Cultural intelligence. What is it in short?
In short, yes.
It's CQ, right? So cultural intelligence, or CQ, okay, is crucial for business that want to succeed globally. So always remember, if you have a business, if you own a business one day, so you will need to do this to adapt or to even practice cultural intelligence so that your business can go global without minimal problems, okay? Because you are open up to learn of different and various cultures where your business intend to expand to, intend to go to. So that is where you got the chance to practice cultural intelligence, whereas you also can be able to understand the new markets, to understand your target customers, okay, to understand your business benefits, okay, how does it work well with people outside your country. So that is true cultural intelligence practice, okay? So by embracing cultural differences, or CQ, and learning from them, business can grow, innovate, and create a better world for everyone, all right? Just like what you saw in the McDonald's video just now, and how is it McDonald's, in order to still survive, to still competing, and to still doing its business in India without jeopardizing, without harming, or without even disturbing the sensitivity of its people, okay, where even though one of your main product is hamburger, but it's okay, you don't mind not having it in the menu in India country, because you respect that Hinduism people are really looking up high on the cow, okay, as their god. So they don't eat God, all right? They don't eat their God. So that McDonald's don't serve a hamburger. Even though there are some Hindus that are not practicing Hinduism, perhaps go for Christianism or any other religion, but we still have to respect the nation overall, okay? So that is why the McDonald's came out with different menus just to suit with the need of the host country, which is India, okay? All right. I open for questions. How can we increase public awareness and understanding of the value of cultural diplomacy, okay, and how it can contribute to economic growth and international stability, right? Speaking about increasing public awareness, am I still with you guys? Yeah, I hope so. Okay, understanding the value of cultural diplomacy. Okay, we need to begin with spreading awareness in terms of events, okay, in terms of advertisement, in terms of perhaps we can do with podcasts, which is so popular at the moment. about disseminating information, about some short video content on your social media, okay, about cultural diplomacy. You are promoting the idea so that most of the people who watch the podcast, the video content, the ads, the advertisement, for example, or anything that you shared on the mainstream media or social media, lead them to further understand about cultural diplomacy. Then when you also show the differences, show some examples to make it clearer on what cultural diplomacy is, perhaps that eventually will develop the being flexible with or dealing with a different kind of cultures. Okay, when you yourself also opens up to understand different cultures than the one that you are practicing, it also promote cultural diplomacy. Okay, and that is how it can contribute to the economic growth, because let's look at this way. When we be able to show our understanding, show our respect, okay, to other cultures, okay, to other people, so they start to accept, they start to having the interest with us, okay, either in dealing business with us, either in having connections with us, networking, or providing or offering opportunities in terms of business or education or anything else. That one of the way that opens up to the first connections, okay, is the diplomacy of you on understanding and respecting their cultures. Okay, you show that you intended to see, to understand, to avoid them feeling defensive over your actions. So that's enough to show your high tolerance towards dealing with their different cultures. Okay, so when we have that, you actually can form a good teamwork, a good connection, and a good camaraderie with people, even though you guys are from different cultures, but you build the professionalism by respecting to each other. That's how the business see the way to grow, because together they work, together being creative, together they foster more innovation ideas, because you already created the comfortability of the relationships or the networks between you and them. Okay, so somewhat it promotes harmonious networking. Okay, that's promote or increase the stability. Is that okay? Okay, so how can we measure the effectiveness of cultural diplomacy in creating international collaboration and economic growth? Are there certain metrics that can be used? Okay, I just didn't share it here, but there are 4 things that cultural intelligence develop skills. Okay, in terms of knowledge, in terms of understandings, in terms of respects, in terms of skills. Cultural intelligence actually promote a healthy development, okay, a healthy growth. Okay, why did I say that is because in order to measure the effectiveness of cultural diplomacy, the proof that you can see is what are the outcomes of each of the collaborations that are made, okay, between people of various cultures. Okay, collaborations needs to work effectively when it will be a win-win situation for all stakeholders. Okay, let's say you are in a project, in a collaboration project of one innovation on food and beverages industry, for example. Okay, when you are trying to submerge the element of the cultures of your cultures of others with your cultures, it creates a fusion situation. Okay, fusion means the combination of one or more cultures into many things, either work or food or anything. Okay, so through that, if it's succeeding winning both people from two different cultures, so that means it was a success. Okay, what example that I can give? The easiest one was the McDonald's just now. Is there any other examples that I can give? In automotive, definitely, even though they are from the same producer, but whenever they export to a different host countries or to a different countries, their settings, the specs are totally different because it's according to how's the weather or how's the requirement of the country they exporting the car to. Okay, what else? Let's take a situation in your university where you have to form a group to deliver a group assignment. And in that group, there are you and also some of your local friends and also foreign students. Perhaps the foreign students maybe in the first class, so they first met you, first trying to get to know you, you were trying to get to know them as well. This is where the cultural intelligence take place. Okay, you were trying to build the cultural diplomacy because you are going to collaborate. Your ideas, okay, with your local friends' ideas, need to collaborate with your foreign students or foreign friends' ideas, okay, in order to come up with a solution and to deliver your group assignment just now. So if the outcome of your discussion, okay, after some points or factors being considered, so you come up with a good solution, okay, that you and your foreign friends shared the idea on its development. So if the solutions reach understanding, reach good acceptance, perhaps by the lecturer or by the other friends, okay, or other fellow mates in the class. So that is one of the way that shows that how the collaboration worked, okay, how the collaboration was succeed and how both of you, the local and the foreign minds or ways of thinking, being able to come up with something that can be accepted generally or globally. Okay, so that is how basically in the bigger world, how the businesses foster the economic growth through cultural diplomacy, through cultural intelligence practice. Okay. Well, I hope that answers to your questions. So what is the role of technology and social media in influencing cultural diplomacy? Okay, I mentioned earlier through the content of what you display, of what you post on the social media, of what you share. Okay, it is so important to put out something that gives good values, okay, rather than destructive or rather than promoting negative impacts. So use this platform as the way to promote higher level of cultural diplomacy. Okay, you can see that perhaps, if, for example, in Malaysia, They rather like to show an advertisement that collects or gathers all four races in our country, which is the Malay, the Indians, the Chinese, and the others. Okay, the others can be the Christians, can be the people from the Sabah and Sarawak country states. Okay, and any others that represent the last group. So through that, we can show that actually we can work together. It's not a problem on that, okay? So advertisement usually reach millions of people of the country through the mainstream media or through social media. So with thousands or millions of view of it, they started to understand. Okay, so that is how the cultural diplomacy was built. So that is the use of technology and social media in spreading the awareness and to show the proven results of good collaboration between people with various cultures. Okay. Okay, that's all the questions that I received. I hope I have answered all of them.
Yes, Miss. Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professora. Okay, before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, already another one. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Dr. Noor for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future with University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you so much for Dr. Noor. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Novita and the rest of representative of STEKOM Universities. Thank you once again for this opportunity. I hope to see you again the next time, perhaps with the different classes, okay, on this visiting lecture program. Thank you very much. I'm really, really sorry of the technical issues that we had just now. I didn't see it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, Miss.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Goodbye.